Lucifer, once the most resplendent of angels, was not designed for error. His form, sculpted in the essence of perfection, carried a beauty and wisdom that surpassed imagination. As the guardian of the divine throne, his connection to the Creator was intimate, almost inseparable. So how could such a lofty being become a symbol of disobedience and rebellion? What led him away from the divine light to embrace darkness? These questions are echoed in the unique experience of Sophia Simmons, a trauma nurse from Los Angeles, whose near-death experience opened the door to a reality beyond all human comprehension. On that particular night, a busy Friday brought chaos to the emergency room. The hospital was overwhelmed with victims of a devastating freeway accident. Amidst the frenzy of care and the relentless efforts to save lives, Sophia, in the midst of desperation and urgency, suffered an unexpected misfortune. She slipped on a pool of blood and hit her head on a metal trolley, an impact that resulted in severe head trauma. During the emergency procedures, Sophia's heart stopped. They were minutes that seemed like an eternity to those around her. However, for her, those moments meant something far beyond earthly consciousness. Her perception was transported to a space where the boundaries between life and death did not exist. In this place, she described a serenity so overwhelming that it silenced the most deafening chaos. Light and warmth filled every corner of the room, creating a world of indescribable beauty. There, Sophia met a figure who radiated a love so pure that human words could not describe it. He called her by name, with a voice that conveyed an unquestionable but welcoming authority. Jesus, in his glory, stood before her. With a look full of compassion, he told her that it was not yet time for her to leave her earthly mission. But before she returned, she needed to witness something that would change her understanding of the universe forever. It was then that, in the blink of an eye, tranquility gave way to a vision of heavenly magnificence. Sophia realized she was standing in front of paradise. Music emanated from all sides, and heavenly harmonies echoed in a chorus impossible to reproduce on earth. Among this grandeur, Jesus pointed to an angel who stood out among the others. His appearance was one of unimaginable splendor, with features adorned with precious stones and wings that shimmered in iridescent hues. "This is Lucifer as he was," Jesus revealed. The sight of Lucifer's ethereal beauty was almost mesmerizing. His voice led the heavenly chants with a mastery that captured the attention of everyone present. But the sight of his former glory was only the prelude to a deeper mystery, what led to his downfall. Sophia saw how Lucifer's natural charm, once an expression of heavenly purity, began to be used to manipulate. His perfect movements became calculated gestures, his words became tools of subtle persuasion. He began to plant doubts with questions that seemed harmless, but which gradually shook the convictions of other angels. Restlessness grew like a shadow, fed by his skillfully formulated reflections. "Why do we follow blindly?" he asked, in a voice that mixed curiosity and provocation. These seemingly simple words touched a sensitive spot. Some angels hesitated, and the light that emanated from them seemed to weaken under the weight of the doubts that Lucifer was sowing. His logic was so skillful that it masked his intentions, leading many to question what had previously seemed unquestionable. In the midst of this maelstrom of uncertainty, the Archangel Michael observed everything with a mixture of sadness and concern. He saw the shadows seeping one by one into the once pure hearts of his heavenly brothers. Did you feel the weight of these revelations? Perhaps at some point you have felt that there is something beyond the answers you have always been given, a deeper truth, as if it were hidden in plain sight. Now, imagine having access to knowledge that sheds light on these doubts and reveals divine secrets. The forbidden name of Jesus is a unique gift, a key to understanding mysteries that can transform your spirituality. It's available to you in a special way in the first comment box. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Free will, considered the greatest gift given by the Creator, became Lucifer's instrument for challenging the heavenly order. What had been given as a gift of love and freedom, intended to allow authentic devotion, was now used as the seed of rebellion. Within this duality lay the complexity of creation, the ability to choose between light and darkness. This power, which was supposed to strengthen the bond between beings and the Creator, was skillfully transformed by Lucifer into a weapon of dissent. His magnetic charisma captivated a multitude of angels who began to be drawn to his words. He presented rebellion not as an act of betrayal, but as an opportunity for transcendence, a break with their assigned roles. With increasing boldness, he began to question the foundations of creation. Why, he argued, should beings of incomparable beauty and power serve humanity? Wasn't it obvious that they, the angels, were superior? These seemingly logical questions planted seeds of ambition in hearts that had previously pulsed only with purity. Gradually, the brilliance of many angels began to fade. The light they emanated, once vibrant and full, became opaque, as if hesitations and doubts had begun to extinguish it. This transformation was painful for the Creator, but the pain did not manifest itself as anger. It was a deep sadness, a reflection of a love so vast that it allowed freedom even in the face of the risk of estrangement. On repeated occasions, Lucifer was offered divine grace as an invitation to return to the path of light, but his increasingly entrenched pride prevented him from accepting. With each attempt by the Creator, his resolve became more rigid, and his conviction that he was right grew. The decisive moment came when he gathered his followers before God's throne in an unprecedented act of defiance. His words, spoken with boldness, echoed throughout the heavenly realm. "I will become like the Most High." This declaration, laden with arrogance and defiance, was the breaking point. The heavenly harmonies, which until then had tried to resist the growing tensions, finally disintegrated. In an instant, Lucifer's radiant glow gave way to darkness. His transformation was immediate. The beauty that had once enchanted him was now a distorted memory, replaced by a form consumed by the darkness he had embraced. Michael, the archangel, stepped forward with the firmness of one who knew his mission. His loyalty was unwavering, and he summoned those who remained faithful to the light to face the growing darkness. The war in the sky was a collision of inconceivable forces. Beams of radiant light cut through space while the darkness advanced with intensity. Although the rebellion was fierce, the loyal angels resisted with the strength of their conviction. The fall of Lucifer and his followers was not instantaneous. Every decision made throughout his journey of rebellion contributed to the complete transformation of his being. The darkness that consumed him was a reflection of his choices, an inevitable consequence of the path he had taken. When the rebellious angels were brought to the edge of heaven, a decisive moment culminated in their expulsion. Lucifer, like a star plummeting from the firmament, was thrown into a fall that resembled a ray of light being extinguished. This descent was not just a demonstration of divine power, but a profound expression of the consequences of free will. Jesus explained to Sophia that God's love for his creation was so infinite that he allowed choices, even though he knew that some would lead to rebellion. The Creator's response to rebellion was not destructive anger, but an unmistakable pain, the pain of a love that does not demand submission. This love, Jesus revealed, is the foundation of everything. Free will, despite its high price, was indispensable for the existence of authentic devotion. Without choice, there could be no true love and no meaningful relationship between the Creator and created beings. Jesus revealed that Lucifer's fall was not the final chapter, but part of a greater plan, a story of redemption and learning that would unfold throughout eternity. The secret that could change everything is available to you, but only for a short time. Don't miss your chance to get The Forbidden Name of Jesus. Check it out in the first fixed comment. Humanity, as Jesus explained to Sophia, occupies a central role in the cosmic narrative. Unlike angels, human beings don't face definitive choices all at once. Instead, their lives are made up of constant decisions, built up day by day, which lead them closer to the Creator or further away from the divine light. Every challenge, every moment of doubt or overcoming is a chance to experience a love that grows and strengthens through trials. Jesus explained that the darkness that enveloped Lucifer was not a punishment imposed by God, but an inevitable consequence of his own rejection of the light. He chose to turn away from divine love, and the emptiness that followed was a self-imposed exile. This same principle, Jesus explained, governs human choices. Hell is not a physical place of eternal suffering, but a state of complete estrangement from God, a spiritual abyss created by decisions that deny love and connection with the divine. However, humanity's destiny is unique. Unlike angels whose choices are irrevocable, humans have the gift of starting over. Salvation remains accessible until the last moment of earthly existence. This ability to continually change reflects the immense power of free will and divine grace. Human life, with its failures and overcoming, is a testimony to the possibility of transformation. As Sophia's time in the divine presence came to an end, Jesus shared crucial teachings for humanity. He emphasized that pride was the root of Lucifer's fall and continues to be the origin of many sins. Unlike a distant memory of the heavenly rebellion, pride remains active, infiltrating everyday actions and seemingly harmless thoughts. Whether through moments of vanity or an exaggerated sense of worthiness, this subtle trap can divert hearts from the path of humility. Jesus explained that true humility doesn't mean diminishing oneself, but recognizing one's dependence on God and the interconnectedness between all beings. He also highlighted the power of gratitude as an antidote to pride. Choosing to be grateful for blessings rather than resentful of perceived limitations undoes the foundations of arrogance and makes room for a fuller heart. To demonstrate, Jesus showed how even the smallest acts of altruism create waves of light that reverberate throughout the spiritual realm. These waves weaken the forces of darkness and strengthen the connection between human beings and the divine. Every gesture of kindness, no matter how simple, has a profound and transformative impact. When it was time for Sophia to return to the physical plane, Jesus placed his hand on her forehead. An overwhelming feeling of peace and love flooded her being, leaving an indelible mark on her soul. The divine journey she had experienced was now imprinted on her consciousness, a spiritual treasure she would carry forever. Back in her body, Sophia gasped as the operating room surrounded her with its intensity. The doctors and nurses worked frantically, unaware of the profound transformation she had just experienced. What had once been a routine faith in her life now burned like a renewed flame. Her choices and thoughts, no matter how small, took on a new meaning in the light of the spiritual reality that had been revealed to her. Lucifer's fall became for Sophia a vivid lesson in the subtleties of temptation. Jesus showed how Lucifer in heaven used trust and harmony as weapons, insidiously planting doubts and dissatisfaction. He didn't attack directly, but manipulated with subtle questions and apparently logical arguments. Divine knowledge doesn't wait. Units of the forbidden name of Jesus are running out fast. Click on the first fixed comment and download yours while it's still available. On Earth, Sophia realized that the tactics remained the same. Temptation rarely presented itself as something explicitly evil. Instead, it appeared disguised as reasonable choices or harmless reflections, which slowly wove snares of darkness around unsuspecting hearts. While these spiritual battles continue to take place in and around each person, Sophia understood that discerning the forces at work is essential. The right guidance and strengthening of faith can make all the difference in fighting the shadows that try to keep humans from the light. Before his farewell, Jesus led Sophia to an extraordinary vision where the panorama of the earth was revealed from a celestial watchtower. From this high point, the spiritual complexity of the world was unveiled. Delicate but powerful lines of light connected people to each other and to the divine, forming a luminous web that represented love, kindness, sincere prayers, and genuine worship. It was a network of interconnections that sustained the harmony of the universe, strengthened by every gesture of altruism and faith. However, interwoven with these shining threads were sinuous shadows, symbolizing fear, doubt, and temptation. These dark tendrils ceaselessly sought to break the bonds of light, weakening the connections that bound humanity to the Creator. The vision represented the essence of the spiritual battle, where each individual choice had the power to strengthen or weaken this network. Jesus emphasized that while acts of love and devotion illuminated the darkness, hesitation and selfishness opened gaps to the darkness. With Lucifer's rebellion, the consequences were not limited to the heavenly realm. The original harmony of creation began to crumble, and the earth began to reflect the effects of this disorder. Darkness, although subtle, began to infiltrate human lives. They didn't come with great fanfare, but through seemingly insignificant moments, an innocent temptation, a thought of discontent, or a whisper of doubt. These small cracks were enough to allow darkness to take root, creating a constant struggle between light and shadow in the human heart. Jesus explained that this spiritual warfare was not marked by grandiose confrontations, but by the choices made on a daily basis. Every decision, no matter how trivial it seemed, shaped each person's relationship with the divine. Choosing love, humility, and gratitude strengthened the threads of light, while giving in to pride and fear created cracks that allowed darkness to enter. This dynamic, invisible to mortal eyes, was an ongoing battle in which even the smallest gestures had an eternal impact. Within this war, loyal angels played a crucial role. Jesus revealed how their unwavering devotion to the Creator made them bulwarks against the darkness. These angels, although powerful, did not boast about their abilities. On the contrary, they recognized that everything they possessed was a divine gift. It was this humility that made them so resistant to the temptations of Lucifer, whose promises of greatness and autonomy were received with gratitude, not envy. The interaction of these angels with humanity was another powerful lesson. Invisible but ever-present, they worked to protect and strengthen human spiritual connections with God. Their tireless efforts helped keep the network of light intact, even in the face of dark onslaughts. For them, human beings were not inferior, but beloved creations facing the unique challenges of free will. Even as the earth bore the marks of sin and corruption, from natural disasters to disease, Jesus brought a comforting truth. Creation itself, in all its fragility, longed for redemption. Every act of love and obedience not only healed hearts, but also had a tangible impact on the restoration of the world. The connection between the physical and the spiritual was profound, and human faith, however simple, could bring balance where there had once been chaos. Don't let this truth slip away. The forbidden name of Jesus is available now, but units are limited. Get yours before it sells out on the first comment pinned. Jesus pointed out that despite his ability to deceive and manipulate, Lucifer remained a created being, limited in his power. He could spread deception and doubt, but he didn't have the ability to force anyone to follow his darkness. Humanity, despite its fragility, possessed a powerful gift: freedom of choice. Every decision, big or small, became a declaration of alignment with the light or the shadow. Jesus emphasized that deception was Lucifer's most dangerous weapon. He disguised himself in partial truths, leading people astray through choices that seemed rational or harmless. Satan's lies never manifested themselves as obvious deceptions, but as half-truths skillfully formulated to distort human perception. With subtle whispers, he presented selfishness as a form of strength, anger as a necessary justice, and indulgence as a symbol of true freedom. These distortions eroded discernment, leading humanity into cycles of pride, conflict, and estrangement from the divine light. These deceptive strategies have not only confused, but also entrenched suffering. Greed and the unbridled desire for power, fueled by such illusions, have resulted in devastating wars, cruel oppression, and countless acts of injustice. However, even in the face of such shadows, Jesus revealed that darkness never had the final word. Alongside the dark images of destruction and selfishness, he highlighted shining moments of altruism and courage. These were stories of individuals who, in the face of darkness, chose to walk in the light, choosing love as their answer to fear. These acts of kindness and bravery radiated a light that broke through the darkness, weakening its grip. Jesus showed that the real battle was not fought with physical weapons or armies, but in the realms of the heart and mind of every human being. With every decision, from forgiving an offense to resisting temptation, a thread of light was strengthened, contributing to the spiritual struggle that shapes humanity's destiny. This cosmic battle is not a simple clash of forces, but a sequence of daily choices that determine the spiritual trajectory of each soul. Sophia was then graced with glimpses of the future. She saw possibilities, not fixed outcomes, but branches branching out from humanity's collective choices. In one vision, the world was illuminated, its wounds healed by abundant acts of love, compassion, and faith. In another, chaos reigned, with nations devastated by the consequences of pride and division. Jesus made it clear that humanity's path is not predetermined. Every choice is an opportunity to align with divine love or to give in to the tendrils of darkness. This message, conveyed with such clarity, brought to light the transformative power of every small decision. Jesus reminded us that with every act of kindness, even the smallest, we contribute to the restoration of the divine plan. When Jesus spoke of judgment, he presented a perspective that was profoundly different from earthly concepts of justice. There was no courtroom with evidence or arguments. Instead, the trial was a moment of revelation, where the essence of each soul was exposed. Those who chose love in its many forms naturally gravitated towards the divine light, while those who embraced selfishness drifted away, unable to bear the overwhelming brilliance of pure love. The vision ended with a powerful reminder: every humble act of love was part of a much greater victory. Jesus revealed that love is the gentlest yet most relentless force that sustains all of creation. It does not conquer by force or imposition, but by the free choice of each heart that recognizes its supreme value. Each decision to love, even if it seems insignificant, is a step towards building a reality closer to redemption. Jesus' message was not just a lesson, but an invitation for each person, by choosing love, to become a co-creator of a renewed world, closer to the true divine essence. If you enjoyed the content and would like to support our work so that we can continue to bring you more in-depth research and analysis, please consider making a donation of $100. This contribution directly helps the growth of the channel and the production of even richer material. Thank you very much for your support.